everybody, welcome to Words of Scripture. Today's video is a rebuttal to a comment that, straighten the camera up, sorry, hold on, might not be able to do it, anyway, stay crooked. I got a comment on the video Atheist 2, where I explained what kind of comments I will allow on my channel and what kind I will just delete. And I got a comment. Well, actually, I got 3 or 4 of them. I think I got 3 of them this morning. Anyway, 2 of them just automatically gone. They didn't follow my rules, my channel. Bye. Somebody else said something, or in the comment, the other commenter, one I didn't delete initially, said something pertaining to, I had mentioned masks in that other video, the Atheist 2, about masks not working. And if you're gonna, and I just use the masks as an example because masks do not work against COVID. You have to, if you want to prove that they do, you're going to have to disprove all the science, the actual researchers, and the actual scientific proof that something with fibers the size of a, if you look at a little molecule or whatever of the coronavirus, to it, what you're wearing on your face, if you wear a face mask, looks like a chain link fence, and you're the size of a mosquito. You fly right through it. So anyway, they called me to task on that. They said, and they provided a scripture, which we'll get to in a second, but they said that this scripture very clearly supports wearing a mask, face covering, to protect the health of everybody else. I said, great, awesome. Somebody found a verse that actually applies. So I looked it up. I looked up this verse, which I'll tell you in a minute. It says absolutely, positively nothing of the sort. But I replied, I said, well, you're taking that out of context. That doesn't say what you think it says. I was polite. Well, they replied to my reply. This is their reply. How is this wrong context? It is clearly about an infectious disease, and it says to cover the lower part of the face. Sorry, you are making excuses, so don't claim that the Bible would inform your decisions if you just cherry pick and ignore the things you don't like. Saying I cherry pick and ignore things I don't like. Jesus didn't like hypocrites much, and you are clearly just that. Okay, well, if this person had been true and did call me out and I was a hypocrite, the comment would still be there. And my apologies would be a reply to that. Well, let's look at the verse. I'm going to read 4 different translations of the same verse, and I apologize. When I copied them off my Bible software, when I copied them, it didn't include the translation name. But I know that one of them is the Modern King James Version, and another one I think is the Good News Bible. But anyway, it is Leviticus 13 and 45. First translation that I copied. And as for the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be torn, and his head shall be bare, and he shall put a covering on his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean. Another translation. Same verse, 1345. People who come down with a skin disease must wear torn clothes and leave their hair uncombed. They must cover their upper lips and call out, "Unclean! Unclean!" Third translation. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare, and he shall put a covering on his upper lip, and shall cry, "Unclean! Unclean!" Fourth translation. The person with the infectious skin disease is to tear his garments and loosen his hair. He is to cover his mustache and shout out, "Unclean! Unclean!" All right. First off, an infectious skin disease is what leprosy is what all of Leviticus 13, the chapter of Leviticus of 13, chapter 13, is all about people that have leprosy and what they are required to do according to the Levitical law. First off, none of us are under the Levitical law, whether we're Jews or not. And that's an entirely different thing. But we're not under the law. The law's gone. Secondly, there are no, and most all of Leviticus 13 is how the people with leprosy is supposed to conduct themselves and go see the priest, and how the priest is supposed to decide whether or not this is actually leprosy and what they can do, yada yada, or if it's not leprosy. And, okay. A skin disease, for one, is not a virus. A skin disease is not airborne. My mind's going in a rabbit hole here. Hold on. I was going to say something. Oh, the must cover the upper lip. If you read the whole chapter in context and you look at it, this thing over the upper lip has absolutely positively nothing to do with preventing someone else from catching the disease, except it is an outward sign. The torn clothes, bare head, and a covering over the upper lip is an outward sign to where if you're walking down the street or down a trail, whatever, and you see someone, and this is in the Old Testament times, you and I are in that right now, walking down. And if you see somebody with torn clothes, nothing on their head, their hair not combed, and something covering their upper lip, then you know that, hey, that person has leprosy and I'm not supposed to touch them. I'm supposed to stay away from them because it is communicable if we touch each other. Tell me, how is that a biblical example of, as a Christian, we should wear a mask? Who is the hypocrite here? Who is the one cherry picking Scripture to make it say what we want it to say? And who is accusing who of being a hypocrite and a cherry picker? I leave it up to you. This person, I'm not going to give you his name, and he can't comment on any more of my videos. This person, very, very clearly, to me, in my opinion, with my small dealings with him, has in the past heard a preacher falsely say that Leviticus 13:45 very clearly states that we should wear a face mask. Or this person did a search for something, some verse, somewhere in the Bible that might possibly say we should wear a face covering. Saw that one verse, ignored everything around it, before it, after it, and in it, and made up a, that says you should wear face coverings. I'm sorry. That's not how God works. That's not how the Bible is supposed to be interpreted. If you want to wear a face mask, go for it. I don't care. I think you're a moron, ignorant, stupid, if you wear it thinking you're going to prevent spreading the disease, barring if you do have the flu or something like that. It will somewhat negate if you cough or sneeze near somebody. It will keep some of the spittle from flying out onto them. It does do that, but it in no way prevents COVID. If you're going to quote scripture, make sure it's in context. Don't come to me with a half a verse that may possibly, if you totally ignore everything else in the Bible, might possibly support your position. Because what I really want to say is I'm going to get on YouTube and ridicule you. Well, I am kind of ridiculing this person, but you don't know who he is. Even I don't know who he is. Or if it's even a he. Might have been a she. I don't know. I couldn't tell with the name. But anyway. If you want to dispute something I say with scripture, make sure it's in context. God bless you. See you next time. Hey everybody. This is an add-on on this video. This is on my way home from Huntington, where I filmed the first parts. I received another comment from a temporary account that somebody made because they were blocked from commenting by me. Well, I have no proof that is what happens, that this is the same person that commented before and I answered in the first part of this video and showed exactly who was the hypocrite and who was pulling stuff out of context. Him, not me. But anyway, this comment from a new, the account name is test. So, and this is their words, not mine. But I can only think of, it has to be that one person that I blocked. He wanted to see, he was waiting for me to rebut him or whatever in the comments, and went back to my video and saw that the whole thread of where he commented and then I commented and then he replied and called me a hypocrite and such was gone, and that he was no longer able to comment again because he is blocked from commenting on my channel anymore. Anyway, this test person, this is his exact words. The comment that he left on the atheist or atheism 2 video. It says, laugh out loud. Remember his words. What a fucking weak snowflake you are, boy. Period. Then. because I deleted comments where he called me a hypocrite and that I was cherry picking scripture, which I've proven with this, what you just saw, that he was the one who was cherry picking and he was the one that was taking things out of context. And the comment he left later, well, like I said, I'm not sure it's him, but who else could it be? I haven't pissed anybody else off on this video comment thread for the video that comment was on, or those comments were on. There's nobody else. So take it as you will. I just want to let you know that that is why I said what I said in the video that got the comments. I don't tolerate people that, I mean, you can be an atheist if you want to. It's just, it's not true. God is real, whether you believe in him or not. And I'm not going to allow any comments that try to say, well, atheism isn't really that, it's this, or you can't prove there's a God, or anything. My channel, my rules. Bye. If you can't answer me with scripture in context. In context means that it says what you say it says. When you look at all the verses before and after, it still says the same thing. Anyway, God bless you. See y'all later.